after y'all. Don't do that.
Thank you, everybody. So my name's Eric Yao, and I'm a local dentist in the Shoreline area. And I just want to thank Master Joe, Master Don, and all the other instructors in here for giving me the opportunity to come in and talk to you guys a little bit. They asked me, they said, you know, the importance of safety, and they always emphasize safety, and said, hey, maybe you guys can come in and talk to us a little bit about why a mouth guard is needed, and you know, what are the possible things that can happen. So basically, mouth guard is basically like, for example, if you play football, you play anything, you want to have your protective equipment. You want to have your helmet. You want to have your equipment. And same thing for your teeth. You don't want your teeth to be damaged. It's just not your teeth. But if you do have an injury to your mouth and head area, the most common injury is to the mouth and the teeth. What are some of the injuries that people can think of? Can anybody tell me? What are some of the injuries that people can think of if you do, you know, play sports or are in here and you get kicked in the face? What do you think can happen? Anybody know? Mr. Kyle, what do you think?
Concussion.
Yeah, you can have a concussion. That's very true. To the head area. How about to the dental teeth area? What do you think? Very good. Yeah, you can have what we call is an avulsion. Avulsion means the teeth can actually fall out. Okay, so that's one of the major injuries that you can have. So that's very good. So here's a, you guys can take a look at it. This is somebody that had an avulsion. You see the teeth isn't there?
It
and
makes
they have
you
the swollen
ugly.
lips, right? So here, you guys can pass that around if you guys want to look at it. So that's somebody that the tooth came out. So, but really quickly, I just want to let you guys know, if this ever happens, like a lot, probably maybe half the school teachers out there, they don't even know, or you're at home, if this does happen, what do you do if you have your teeth fall out? What do you think you should do?
Put it in milk.
Well, yeah, you should call your dentist probably. What do you think? Oh, did it happen to your dad? Uh-oh.
Thank you, Dr. Yao. We're a team of that. Let's see real life right here.
I think that was from really sticky candy, but okay. What do you think, Dad? You have your hand up? Very good. You're right. So basically, if your teeth falls out, you want to get to your dentist as soon as possible. But during the meantime, what you want to do is, if you have any, you know, if it's fallen out on the street, you've got some dirt on it, you want to make sure it's rinsed clean. But you really don't want to run it under tap water very long. Maybe just really quickly get the dirt off. But if you have something else to clean, like milk or something, that's probably even better. If anybody carries around sterile saline in their pocket, okay, that's probably the best. That's salt water, okay? But basically, you want to be sure to, if you can, or you have an adult around that can put it back in your socket really quickly, that'd probably be the best. If they can immediately put it back and it goes back into place, great. Then go back and go to your dentist. If you can't, then what you want to do is put it in some milk. If you don't have milk after it's clean, you can put it back in your mouth, underneath the tongue on the side. And you know, your mouth is where it used to be, and that's fine. Just have it somewhere like that, and then go to your dentist. And you have to have it probably put back in within the first 40 minutes. If you don't have it put it back within the first 40 minutes, it's game over. You're probably not going to have it. But after you get back to the dentist, what they'll do is they'll probably put the tooth back, split it together, you'll hold it in your mouth, and then they'll probably have to do a root canal. And the chances of that staying in your mouth are probably 50-50, you know, if it works. Okay. So, but what are some of the other injuries you guys can think of? Anything else? Well, some of the other injuries is you can break your jaw, right? That's one thing, you know. I mean, obviously that, there's really not much you can do other than get you know, medical doctor, ENT, oral surgeon, and they want to probably do some surgery. They'll probably have to chain you up. That's another injury. Okay, he just took the one about moving the teeth. That one was a picture of a tooth that got pushed up. Like I had somebody that called me probably like about a couple years ago. The mom called me like really freaked out. They thought the tooth had fallen down on the ground. They were playing on the monkey bars, and he fell down and hit the bar right at the teeth. And they couldn't find it, so they came in, and I couldn't see the teeth either. It was one of the front teeth, so I took an X-ray. Guess what? The tooth had got jammed up in, and I couldn't see it. So basically, I had to basically do some surgery because it couldn't pull it back down and split it together. Okay, so sometimes teeth can move, and that's an example of one of the teeth that had been pushed up. Okay, so another possibility is sometimes the most common one is probably the tooth can break, right? And that's a very easy one. If the tooth breaks like that, okay, you guys can pass that around. Basically, as long as it's broken and the tooth is fine, and we'll test it and make sure the tooth is fine, then we can just put on a little filling or do a crown or something. But if it breaks and it looks like this, you guys can see the pink of it, the nerve is exposed, then sometimes the teeth can break where the nerve is exposed. And then you'll need a root canal or something like that. So basically, I'm here not to scare you, but to scare you. Why? Because I want you guys to understand the severity of injury that can happen and how easy it is to prevent it. What do you have to do to prevent it is basically, anytime you do a sport, anytime you play anything with a ball, anytime they say you need a protective equipment, then this should be part of the protective equipment also. Have a mouth guard around. And you want a good fitting mouth guard. You don't want something that's, that can just fall off very easily, that you can kind of move around and chew around. If that's not fitting very easily, and it just happens that you get knocked in the face or knocked in the mouth just when it's not in very well, you can still get injured. So I'm not saying that this will prevent it totally, but it'll lessen the likelihood of injury. And if you do get injured, it'll probably lessen the severity. Right? Okay. So can you guys tell me what are the chances of you probably getting injured in your lifetime? Every year, every season of sports. If you play sports, do taekwondo, what do you think your chances are? Anybody have any guess? What do you think? I'm sorry, can you say it again? What are the chances of you getting a tooth injury or a mouth injury, like every year? Like if you're an athlete and you play sports, what do you think your chances are? What percentage? 10%, 20%? Like 1 out of 10 people are going to get injured to it? 80%? Okay. And what do you think? 70%? Okay, well, fortunately it's not that high. The chances of you getting injured every year is probably about 10%. 10% of everybody that plays sports, every season, every sports season probably is about 10%. But if you play sports every year, your chance of getting injury is about 33 to 56% in your lifetime that you'll get injured. You'll have some kind of mouth or facial injury. Okay? In your lifetime if you do not play sports. These fit a lot better. Their thickness is perfect. So there's different types of guards, but these are custom made for your teeth, so you'd be the only one wearing it, so there'd be no confusion, okay? So your neighbor would be able to grab it and put it in their mouth. Oh yeah, there might be some confusion there. Who knows? Right. Different color. Different color. Right. So anyways, in conclusion, I just want to say, if any of you guys are interested, I told Master Joe that we open it up for a couple weeks span. There's another week. Just give our office a call. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to come in next week to do it. Just to make an appointment. We'd be happy to make you one. Trust me. Last year, I think somebody asked, "What's the cash?" There's no cash. There's no commitment. Just come and do it. We're just doing it just for people in elite martial arts. Just kind of as a thank you to Master Joe, Master Don for all the years of helping our children out and all the parents here. It's no problem. If you don't want to come in, no problem. I would suggest going in your dentist and have it made. And at the least, if nothing at all, you still want to use something, even if it's a store-bought one. It's even much better. I feel. Yeah. Anybody have any questions or anything at all? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. With kids, you usually probably do. Probably once every year, yeah, maybe even before that if they're in the age where they're losing a lot of teeth. Because children usually lose teeth at 6, and then usually at 10 or 12 again. So, and then usually by the time they're 12 or older, they don't lose anymore. Okay. But usually, and then of course by the time they're 17, 18, they might get wisdom. That's a whole different story. But with adults, it's usually pretty stable. Yeah. Unless you have a little bit. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you guys. And like I said, if you guys are interested, just give us our office a call. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, guys. Now listen, it's really, really important for you guys to keep them out, keep in your mouth, whenever you're sparring.